Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Pastor Ron, and welcome to my podcast, Faith Talk with Pastor Ron, where everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is in a good spot. It's Mother's Day weekend. I hope everyone's doing well and spending time with their moms. Their moms, if they're with you, if they're alive with you. If not, my prayers are definitely with you guys because I understand the challenge of being without a mom. My mom, as many of you know, has passed away. And around this time, it's always tough. It's always tough around Mother's Day. So I sympathize with those who are going through it. So I know some of you are battling a lot this weekend, and I will definitely keep you in my prayers, and to remind you that God's grace is sufficient. So, thank you for all who have listened to my recent podcast. Please, if you're listening for the first time, do not forget to follow. Do not forget to comment. These are the things that pushes this podcast up in the algorithm and helps me grow and continue to grow and get this gospel, get this message out to the masses. So please help me out, and I greatly appreciate that. So, before I go into our topic for today, I wanted to share something that I came across, that there is something that really made me cringe, and it kind of shows the issues that we're having with technology, and specifically AI. AI is a really, really dangerous and tricky thing. So I happened to stumble upon the fact that there's this website out here called Life2Vec, Life, the number 2, and VEC, Vec. I'm guessing I'm saying right, Life2Vec. So the one thing that they're doing is that they have an AI death calculator, where you enter some information about where you live, your lifestyle, your date of birth, etc., and it helps predict your day of death. And it boasts of a 78% accuracy, a 70% accuracy rate that, 78% of the time, the date that they provide is accurate. First of all, it's weird. Like, it's like, how do you know it's 78% accurate? Like, do you track me? Do you follow me on social media to see if I'm alive? Like, how do you know that 78% of the time the person actually dies on the date that they provide? Right? Like, that's mad creepy. Like, this is why, I've consciously tried to reduce what I put on social media. I use it as a tool, and for example, my Instagram, which is private, I recently made private just so it could be. And I not only have I made it private, I've gone through my friends list and people who I don't know personally, people who I don't want to know what's happening in my personal life. I've just switched them and invited them to my private page, to my public page, or my Pastor Ron page, just to avoid, you just don't know. And I'm sitting here and I had a bunch of people that I was following that the A, weren't following me back, and B, I didn't know who they were. And I did not feel comfortable putting my stuff out there. So it kind of shows how crazy of a time that we're living in. But you got to be careful. Before I go into this death calculator, how do you know it's accurate? What do you do? Do you scour public records? What do you do to just show that everything that the date you provide is accurate? It's mad creepy. Are you following me around? Are you following me on my social media pages? Are you just every day waking up, you just checking the obituaries to see if I'm in it? It's crazy. So of course it's an actual site. I did not fill it out. I'm not taking part in this demonic activity. So I said it to some of my friends that I dare you to try it, but no one caught the bait. But this also shows how crazy AI is. For AI to be able to boast about creating a death calculator, like AI is now God, right? You know what I'm saying? Like AI is now has the ability to tell you like when you're going to leave this earth. And the one thing I realized that this is all in the hands of God, right? The only person that knows when we're going to leave this earth is the Lord. So I want to sit here and think that AI is going to do that. And let's entertain it, right? Imagine you go through it and you believe in it. Like, how do you think you're going to feel? Like, say, oh, your date of death is going to be May 18th, 2024. Imagine how you're going to feel like on the 16th and the 17th. And you probably be scared to leave your house. You're not going to sleep the night before because, tomorrow I'm going to die. Like, what the heck is this, bro? What the heck is this? What type of times in society that we're living in where AI is actually telling us when we're going to die? And then there's and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of idiots that really swear by it and that they're actually living by it. They have taken it and they're living their life by it. You have the ones who are sitting and going to know the date and just have so much fun, and then a week before trying to repent. Wouldn't that be like, on the other hand, wouldn't that be so sweet for you to sit there and know when you're going to die so you can have all your fun, do all you got to do, and then like on your deathbed or the day before you die, you say, hey, I repent. I'm sorry. No. But the AI thing is definitely something we have to keep an eye on. There's a lot of control, a lot of crazy stuff being done with AI. It's a powerful tool, but it's, ChatGPT is something that everyone has used at some point in their lives. But AI is also something to be careful of, because who is supplying them of their information? Like, who is controlling AI? AI is not controlled by like an alien. Like it's not controlled by the computers or CPU. No, AI is being fed information and being controlled and being followed by a human being. Who is this person? Who is this person that is doing all this? So, I definitely, figure like this is something crazy. Like hearing about this, I'm like, nah, this can't be real. And then I actually went to the site and I saw the site existed. I didn't really go too much farther. I was like, it's just demonic, and I'm not doing it. This don't make no sense. So, yeah, man. I mean, if you want to, you could do your own research, but I kind of wanted just to talk about the dangers, man. Like, what do you guys think? What do you think do you want to know the day that you die? Are you like leery about AI and its power and controls? Like what is, as a pastor, I have to be aware of this stuff because I want to be able to watch and pray, right? That's what Christ said, watch and pray. Watching means not only do you guard yourself, but you guard yourself by information, by word, by knowing what's out there, knowing what's in the news. There's so many Christians who are just ignorant. There are people who are Christians that don't realize that Israel is currently in a war. There's Christians that right now don't realize what's happening in their own communities. So how do you expect to save it or minister to it if you don't know what's going on? One of the reasons why I'm so into certain things like social media and different trends, and it's not because I'm a vagabond. I'm just like a fake pastor that's trying to, or old head trying to recapture his youth. Nah, I'm also trying to stay relevant and understand what's happening, so I'm able to minister to it. I need to know what people are being fed, the information people are being fed, so I can counter it. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds crazy, but I gotta have a foot in the world, in the sense where what's happening in the world, because the world is also competing for our information, competing for our minds. If I don't know what's being said, I can't minister to it. I can't counter it. You know, it's the art of war. You must know your enemy and what he is doing in order for you to be able to counter them and be prepared. Right? What is it? The best offense is a good defense. So if you're able to defend and know what's going on, it helps you be able to attack it and to get what you're going to. So, yeah, it's kind of wanted to touch on that, man. You know, AI is tripping, bro. AI is dangerous, and it sounds hypocritical. I do use it. Like, I use ChatGPT a lot, but I also am afraid of its powers and its ability to control and to, like in this case of a death certificate or a death calculator, like its ability to control people, and people sitting here and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die on July 5th, 2025. And they're stressed out. It just, I keep coming back to it, but it's so funny how it's like we are 78% accurate. Got it here, bro. Even if it's true, how do you know it's accurate? This is the question I keep coming back to. How do you know that, hey, I said John is going to die on this day, and he dies on this day? Nonetheless, bro. But the month of May, you know, is Mental Health Awareness Month. Outside of Mother's Day, and I think it's also like Correctional Officers Month. It's like a bunch. It's like, of course, it's Haitian Heritage Month first and foremost. Bap. Big up to all my Haitians, all my Zoes out there. It's Haitian Heritage Month. I was telling somebody that this month, this May 2024, has been jacked up because I had to counter Cinco de Mayo last Sunday, and now Haitian Heritage is on Haitian Flag Day is on May 18th. We know everybody's not coming to church on the 19th, the next day, man. But the great thing about it, the next day is Pentecost Sunday, man. It's the birthplace of the church. So it's crazy to, you know, people not going to be able to come to church all over the world. Haitians are not going to be able to come to church all over the world because of the fact that it's Haitian Flag Day and people are going to have fun, because Haitian Flag Day is a really big. If you're not Haitian Flag Day is really, really big. I think it's second to January 1st is Haitian Independence Day. I think Haitian Flag Day is like a close number 2. Number 3, I can't lie and say I'm Mr. Haiti and know what's going on. I think number 3 is probably, my ignorant self thinks that the next popular day is probably like Labor Day, so they all could go Eastern Parkway. It's probably the the third most important day in the Haitian calendar. But, you know, top 2 is definitely Independence Day. I mean, Independence Day, which is January 1st, and Haitian Flag Day, which is the 18th. So, yeah, but this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And shout out to all my mental health associates. I'm trying to set something up at my church for the last Sunday. I really believe in the importance of mental health and the fact that we need to take care of our minds. I am a pastor that believes that it is okay for one to go to therapy and to also believe in God. It doesn't make you less of a believer, less of a Christian to go to mental health, go to a therapist, see a psychiatrist. I don't think that makes you bad. It's like the best way to compare it is like, okay, if you feel that way, then if you get diagnosed with cancer, then don't go to an oncologist. Just sit there and have faith that God's going to make you whole, right? The same way you treat your mind, like you have faith that if I start speaking in tongues and believing, I want to get better. Treat your body the same way. Because my wife always tells me, that the mind is treat your mind, your mental health like your body. Get checkups, check in, take care of it. Treat any issues, treat any disorders the same way you would treat high blood pressure, cholesterol, a pain in your back, whatever. The same way you would treat your physical body, treat your mind. Get some help. So off the rip, I want to erase the stigma that believers can't go to Christian, can't go to see a therapist. And I know so many dope Christians in the mental health field, like believers, people that I could advocate as believers, but they're also in counseling. They also counsel people. They also are active in the mental health field. There's even Christian counselors that use like biblical principles as in their counseling session. If you don't feel good to, I'm doing air quotes, to go to a secular therapist, go to a Christian therapist. And the thing that we need to do is take responsibility for our mental health. I was talking to someone the other day and I said, we often feel like someone makes you mad. No one can make you mad. No one can make you upset. You feel like you choose to be upset. I could punch you in your nose, and it's a choice if you stay upset at me. You don't have a choice, and it's hurting you, and me hurting you by punching you in your nose. But you have a choice if you're going to be upset, if you're going to allow us to ruin your day. You feel me? Like, we have a choice, and we have a responsibility to take control of our mental health. Stop giving folks so much access to us and the ability to affect our mental health. I'm not giving anyone that power in my life. Call me naive, call me thick, call me just whatever. I refuse to give anyone, like the person that has the most, after God, the person that has the most power, because that's the word to put, over me is my wife. What she says really matters to me. What she tells me, I listen to I roll my eyes and I push back. But deep down inside, I'm listening to what she's saying. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you'll be quiet, girl. But then I'm sitting like, oh, that don't make sense. Hey, yeah, low key, she knows she talking about that. That's, So, and then it affects me. Like, if things bother her, it bothers me. If she says, hey, Ron, I don't like when you wear blue, I'll stop wearing blue. That's my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why you shouldn't marry anyone, because if you marry anyone will have power over you. You feel me? Like, you have to make sure you marry someone that you trust enough to have that much control over your life. So yeah, what your spouse says should matter. How they feel should matter. But I ain't letting no one else, bro. See, they had that much power in my life. Like, especially being a pastor. Pastor Eric Mason had an amazing post, and I felt seen. He posted this on Thursday of this week, and he talked about how he went through a season from 2020 to 2022 when he was just battling so much. And you feel as a pastor, you cannot come to anyone because it's your job to help them with their issue. It reminds me of when my mom passed away, and I went down to Jersey, and when I found out, I was just strong. I don't know what I felt when I initially found out. I will never forget when I initially found out. I walked into the house. My dad said, "Yo, your mom's gone." Apparently, she's been gone for a long time, and no one wanted to tell me because they were afraid that I may crash the car or I couldn't drive down. So as soon as I walked into my dad's house, like, yo, Ronnie, Nani, yeah, you can call me Nani. Nani, mommy's gone. She's gone. She's gone. He was sitting there. I could see it. I see the house full of people. I could see my dad sitting in a recliner right by the bathroom. He said, "Mommy gone. She's gone." I'm like, oh snap! I didn't realize she was gone. I'm sitting here praying and believing on the way that God could turn things around. And then I immediately went upstairs. I went upstairs to, I think it was I don't know whose room. I think it was I think it was my sister's room. No, my room. It was like a spare room we had in the house, but a bunch of people were up there in that spare room just sitting there like crying and just weeping and stuff. And I sat there and I stared at the ground. Maybe I stared at the ground. I think I was just in shock. I stared at the ground and got up and I just, gathered myself and then went on, asked for my sister, see how she was doing, my aunties, to see how they were holding up, and that's it. And then a little while later, I slept for a little bit. And the next day, I woke up, the next day I couldn't do much. I didn't get a chance to, I guess, react or feel, because I woke up to all these church folks screaming in the kitchen. Like, oh my God, like just making all this noise and screaming in the kitchen. So I was like, then I immediately came into a pastor mode. I wasn't a pastor then, but came into just Ron mode. And I was just there for them. Like, hey, are you guys okay? God knows why. Just been ministering to them who were sitting at the crib downstairs just wailing. So sometime in the afternoon, the house got quiet, got empty. And I remember my boy Herman and my boys Mark from Philly came down. As soon as they came down to the crib in Jersey. And we're just talking. I don't know what triggered it. But we were talking, and then I began crying. So for the first time, I began to cry. And then when I began to cry, then my sister started crying. Then Nifa, one of my best friends, she began to cry, and I think my wife started to cry. Once I cried, and everybody started to cry, and I feel like a jerk by doing that and making people cry, making people feel some kind of way, like I should have been like strong, because when I cried, I was like, and then someone said, I think Pat said, my sister, oh, when Ron cries, it's bad. When seeing Ron cry, it makes everybody else sad. Ron never cries. And I'm like, dang, Ron, you can't cry. You're a jerk for doing so. You know what I'm saying? You're bad for you. Like, it's your job to be strong. I share this story to say, like, I still have that approach to life. As a pastor, I feel I can't come to people with my issues. I hate making excuses. I hate sitting here and be like, oh man, we're a small church, or I have so much to do, that's why I can't be there. I hate making excuses. I've never been an excuse person. I'm always like, you know what? Got to get better. Got to do better. That's always what is my approach. All right, got to do better. You're right. Yeah, I knew I had XYZ. There's no excuse. Can't do it again. Excuses may be valid. Like, hey, Ron, you got a lot on your plate. You have a family. You have this and that. I don't like making excuses. With that being said, that's one of the challenges of the pastor. Like, this is why many pastors have mental health issues. Is because they don't feel that they can come to anyone. Because as a pastor, pastors are like nurses. Like nurses. Oh, by the way, happy Nurses Week to all the nurses as well. How could I forget? As a pastor, as a nurse, right? You're one of the reasons. One of my great friends, her name is Daphne. She said something which is real, and I shared it with my church. That when you see nurses, these nurses, they become everyone's nurse. So like right now, my wife's an RN, right? And she's a great nurse. Not saying because she's my wife, but she's a great nurse. When she has issues, like when I feel some kind of like something in my body, she's the first person I call. Like, yo, babe, I got pain in my side. I felt it for the past 5 days. What do you think it is? Or I hear something on TV. I was watching wrestling, and the person said he had diverticulitis, and I didn't go to Google. I didn't go to WebMD. I went to my wife. I went to Fa and said, babe, what does that mean? And she explained it to me. So you're not only a nurse at work for 40 plus whatever shifts you do, hours a week, you're also a nurse for your family, for your friends. They call to you like, oh my God. So many stories she's telling, like, oh, people calling the church, hey, First Lady, they FaceTime, yo, I have this, and they like lift their arm with a major sore or with their child and stuff. And so you become the people's nurse. Same thing with being a pastor. I don't just pastor my congregation at RCOG. Fair or unfair, I feel a pastor is to serve the community. I feel a pastor should be there for people in the community, not just their church members. So if someone that doesn't go to the church calls you and texts you or DMs you like, hey, I'm depressed or I'm suicidal. I've received calls at midnight where someone is like, hey, Pastor, I'm saying my final goodbyes. I'm about to kill myself. And I'm like, I had a call. At one time, someone called me getting ready to commit with suicidal thoughts. I was on my way to my uncle's wake on a turnpike, trying to help him out as he goes through what he's going through. You feel me? So I think as a pastor, you're not just a pastor to your congregation. You're a pastor to the entire community. With that being said, then, if you're supposed to be there for the entire community, then I'm not supposed to mourn. I'm not supposed to come to them with my issues. They're supposed to come to me with their issues. You feel me? It's like a nurse. It's like a nurse having a wound or something, and that nurse sits there and calls a person like, yo, so-and-so, look at this right here. What is this? You feel me? Like, nah, like you're the nurse. You're the one supposed to answer these questions. So I think that's kind of what we go through as pastors. We go through as leaders where we sit there and we have a inability to go out to somebody because we feel that we have to be there for everybody else. And that's leads to a lot of mental health issues, a lot of mental health things that people go through unnecessarily. And it's dangerous. I think it's crucial for us to take care of ourselves. Like, it's crucial for us to find a place. I'm very focused and intentional about my me time, where I just shut everything out. Normally, it could be like in a day. Like lately, it's nice out, so I could go outside and sit outside by myself for a little bit, or mow the lawn. Mowing the lawn is therapeutic to me because I'm by myself in my thoughts. But also, like when the kids are asleep at like 2 a.m, it's quiet. That's kind of like my me time. That's my time to like recalibrate myself and watch YouTube videos, record podcasts, watch TV, watch my DVRs. I need that reset. I can't just keep going. I'm very intentional about it because I don't want to stress myself out. Stress kills. And this me time, and it could be playing video games, though I haven't had time to play a lot lately, but it could be just sitting there having the opportunity to play some games by myself, not online, or with my friends too. That's also therapeutic. Talking to my boys in a group chat. But finding that moment of time where I just empty myself and have time for myself, I just, think it's important. So, yeah, I want to just debunk this myth that these myths, I should say, plural, that church folks can't go and get themselves right and go to a therapist. And secondly, the second myth is that guys don't have mental health challenges. The problem with guys is that we were taught not to emote, not to have emotion. That guys are supposed to be rocks. You can't whine. You can't complain. You're a man, right? You're a man. Who do you go to? And then we have a nation, a generation of women who are unable to handle an emotional man. When I say emotional, I'm not saying a crybaby, but a person that addresses and confronts his mental health challenges. Women can't deal with a man that cries, that says, you know what, babe, I'm in a bad place. A lot of times they laugh it off. A lot of times they say, yo, go man up, stop crying. So again, similar to the pastor, you feel like you can't share, and then you keep everything on the inside. We keep everything on the inside. It doesn't go away. It does not go away. As a matter of fact, it just builds up, and it comes out at the most inopportune time. So I just want to make sure that we understand the value about taking care of our mental health. Do I have everything figured out? Nah, because I have moments like this. Again, Mother's Day weekend, this year was bad for me. I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing so much in the church. So I'm so, seeing things and songs and pictures. Like, dang, bro. You know what I mean? It got me jacked up this weekend. But, I'm persevering. I'm pushing. But that happens to us guys, man. We need to take care of our mental health. Because we're not emotional. When I say we're not emotional, I mean we're not led by our emotions. Females are emotional most of the time, not all, many. And our emotions don't have control over us. We still feel, we still emote, we still have emotions that we need to confront and deal with. Because if you don't deal with it, it'll deal with you. If you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. It comes out and don't get it jacked up. Like, marriage doesn't fix it neither. Like, you have to really, if you have these things that you're carrying, take care of it before you get married. Because in marriage is like college. You ain't got time. You ain't got time to sit here and try to figure things out, because you're trying to learn about your wife, then you have children, you got to learn about your kids, you got to provide for your house, you got to take care of yourself, you got to be making sure you focus on how to communicate. So it's not so simple and so sweet where you could be like, yo, I got time. No, deal with it now. Deal with your issues now. That's the best thing you can do. Trust me. Deal with your issues now. You thank me later. So, sorry about that. So mental health is real. Mental health is something that needs to be addressed. And as Christians, we can see a therapist. As men, and this is the bigger point. I've discussed the Christian part, but the men part, I'm seeing so many men that have mental health issues. They are depressed. It's obvious that they're depressed, and speaking to them, depressed, and looking at their relationships, they have mental health challenges. They have anxiety. But A, they don't want to admit it, or B, they're avoiding it. And that's dangerous. Find that place. Find that secret place. I'm not talking about in another woman's arms. I'm not condoning cheating. I'm not condoning abandoning your home. But I am condoning finding a place where it's a safe place for you. Where if you want to cry, cry. If you just want to be alone, be alone. But you cannot, as a man, you cannot avoid your mental health issues. Gotta confront it. Confront it. Trust me, confront it, because it won't go away. And don't expect your spouse, your woman, to heal you. You need to focus on healing yourself. Spend time with God. The biggest tool we have in mental health, in helping our mental health, is prayer. It's prayer. If you look at Jesus Christ right before he died, after the Last Supper, he was at a place where he's like, yo, I'm about to really die. and be apart from God. I don't want to do this no more. The text says he became extremely sorrowful. Like immediately after the Last Supper, and he knew, all right, it's about to go down. He became really sad. You could even say he became depressed. You know what he did? He took a walk. He took his inner circle. He took his boys, went for a walk, and he went to pray. He went to pray. So it's so important for us to understand the value and the tool we have in prayer. Prayer does not reveal anything new to God. Prayer is transferring ownership to God. We're not built to carry our issues. God has given us a exit door, a plan, a cheat code in him to get through our stuff. So don't ever underestimate the value and power in prayer in assisting and helping your mental health. I pray this helps you. I pray this encourages you. Take care of yourself. Talk to somebody. DM somebody. Talk to your parents. Talk to your friend. If you don't have friends you can talk to, then you have bad friends. There has to be one person in your inner circle that you could be naked in front of, that you could be honest in front of, that you could be your real self, and they won't judge you. They'll cover you. They'll pray with you. They'll encourage you. If you don't have that person, you need new friends. So thank you for listening. Take care of your mental health. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. Don't forget to share this and put this out there. And don't forget to comment, give your feedback on the podcast. That also means a lot. I love you guys. God bless y'all. Peace.